Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Mr. Fix-It channel. On this episode, I'm going to build a 4-in-1 exhaust for this Yamaha Radian. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is the factory exhaust. It's 4-in-2. So I'm going to try to do a 4-in-1 on this bike. I got some steel tubing sitting here. Got my cutoff saw and my tubing bender. So let's see what we can figure out here. Okay, so we're down here on the front of the bike, and I'm just wanting to show you kind of what I'm dealing with here. This engine has the oil filter housing right here, so that kind of makes it hard. Like, what I really want to do is I just want to bring all 4 pipes down together in the front and collect them together. But that's obviously not going to work. I don't want the guy to have to take the exhaust off to change the oil. That would be terrible. So I got a couple different options. I can bring these 2 pipes down on this side and these 2 pipes down on this side and try to wrap them around and try to collect them all together in the middle with a gap to get this out. That's one option. Option 2 is to kind of route all 4 pipes over this way and down and out this way. So the tubing bender I got won't allow me to bend, you know, this way and then bend this way and then bend this way and then bend that way. So probably what I have to do is I'm going to have to take a few straight pieces and bend a few different angles and, you know, cut and paste here to try to wrap these pipes around this oil filter. Alright, so just slip this sucker right in here. Alright, this first bend I'm going to take to 90 degrees. Yeah, that's actually a very nice bend. Alright, so I marked where I want my next bend to start. Now I got to measure 5 1/4 back, which I don't know, might have to clamp it on this end. Alright, so the test piece turned out okay. This section here needs to be longer. I mocked this up off of the factory pipe, and I didn't realize that the factory pipe, the 2 outside cylinders, they wrap up along the frame rail. So I gotta make this longer to clear under the motor. Alright, so I got the hole saw out and I'm cutting some flanges. Let's see if this little hole saw will cut through 3/8 thick stainless steel all 4 times. So pray for my bit here. Alright, so the old used Harbor Freight hole saw made it through 3.5 times. Pretty impressive. Alright, so I finally got these 4 holes bored out. I center drilled, spot and center drilled the flange holes. And this took entirely longer than I was expecting, so I'm going to go ahead and get these holes drilled out, then I can start the arduous task cutting these shapes out. Of course, I'm not going to be using a CNC plasma machine because I do not own such fancy tools. So this will all be done pretty much primarily with an angle grinder. I'm just going to put a little chamfer on these holes here. Well, this is my setup here. Figure I might as well get comfortable. I'm going to be here, oh, probably several hours. I know I got that plasma cutter over there. This material is really too thick for that little thing, and I don't trust myself. I got way too much work involved in this piece to screw it up now. I'm way better with an angle grinder. I stacked them all in this way so I can shape them all at the same time. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, so here's the finished product. So the exhaust has this, I don't know what you call this, the flared out piece that the flange butts up against. I'm going to turn down this piece of stock here and cut it off into sections, bore it out, and this will be those parts. So that's what's going on here. Well, there's that much of it done. Now it's just a matter of bending up the tubes and welding everything together, and then building a collector. I'm beveling over the edges so that when I weld that together I can grind it smooth and there'll still be some weld left. Alright, so here's what I got going on so far. I got the flanges and everything bolted up to the head, and I'm going to try to bring all the pipes over and around that oil filter. I got one more pipe to bend up. This one here is just a little bit long and it needs to be kind of cocked over that way just a little bit, so I think I'm going to cut this pipe here and I can take up that gap and then I can clock that over a little bit to make those two fit nice and tight together. I got that tube wrapped around. I'm planning on it coming down on the inside along this pipe back here, and then hopefully I can get the other one to swing out and come right and go right beside this one. Things tend to want to move a little bit after welding, so hopefully it's not too far off. Alright, so I got these pipes pretty close, but they're not perfect. I need to move these two pipes down and make this a square, less than a diamond. So I'm going to try to bend these pipes down. Alright, this is more what I'm looking for here. That's pretty close. I think I can work with that. I'm going to get these welds blended in. So I'm going to try to make my header collector out of this pipe reducer here. I made me a forming jig out of some tubing, and I'm going to try to make this my collector. Whoa. Alright, so there's the collector. Let's try to slip this on here now. Nice tight fit. I like that. Alright, I need to reduce this so that this fits in here. So I got this marked out. I'm going to cut this and reduce this to fit here. Alright, I got this hose clamp holding all these down for me. And then now I can butt weld this pipe to that pipe. This has got a bit of a flare in it here. I think I'm going to cut this right at just past this flare, and then something like that. I'm going to reach inside this collector and weld these pipes together. Alright, now I gotta fill this hole in. I'm gonna use a little scrap piece. I made a pie cut in the mid pipe to make that bend. I always soak this stuff in water before I put it on. It keeps the itching down and kind of seems like it works a little better when it's wet. So I always wet it. Alright, when I get to the end here, I want to pull it as tight as I can. I'm going to take this last little bit and I'm going to fold it under. Try to tuck that. Alright, there's one. Alright, well that's all done. That's what that looks like there. Let's get this thing mounted up on the bike here and see how it sounds. Alright, let's see how much of a struggle this is going to be. Yeah, looking pretty good. Well, here you go guys, 4-in-1 header for this old Yamaha here. That was a little bit of work, but I think it turned out great. So if you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.